Evening, y'all.
Evening, y'all. I see we're coming up on 5:30 here. We'll give everyone a couple more minutes and get started.
Hi. Oh, I
All right, y'all. Apologies to Kelly, who I see is not on the call, but I guess I received some correspondence from her last week asking if we could take this virtual, and I think my delayed response is what prevented us from getting invitations out sooner. As a result, it looks like we're a little bit short on appointees this week, and so, or this month rather, and so a little bit better job coordinating on my part next month to get a few more folks there to join us for this conversation. That said, I do still want to provide an opportunity for everybody to discuss any of their activities within their respective disciplines this month, so we can record that for posterity, but we'll keep this short and roll through it. So did I see Miss Rosenthal on the phone a moment ago, or do we have anyone from the Office of Business Opportunity? Ms. Wade? And you're on mute.
Good afternoon. There we go. So I'm here in place of Michelle. So just real quick, I'll just highlight the upcoming activity that we have coming up in September. September 14th, we're going to be having our Engage Richland. Here comes the train. The Engage Richland Opportunity Day in Richland County. That is the event that we're currently working on. We're expecting about 200. Can you still hear me with the train coming by?
Yeah, you're okay.
Okay. So we are expecting about 200 to 250 attendees for this event. So we call it Opportunity Day with hopes at the end of the workshop that our attendees will be able to walk away with either a job opportunity or contractual opportunity. So we're inviting HR directors from some of our partners, USC, SCDOT, county, city, federal HR directors. We'll have some representatives from DUE who will come in and talk about unemployment and how to go about obtaining employment. Also, we will have our procurement directors from school district, the COMET, District 1, District 2, state procurement. They're going to be talking about procurement procedures and letting schedules that they have coming from their respective entities. So like I said, we're expecting about 200 to 250 attendees. Right now, we have over 115 registrants with another to go. So this is going to be exciting. So if you have time on your calendar, we would love to have you. It's a free event. So it's going to be at Richland School District 2, R2I2, that's located in Sand Hills. And again, that's September the 14th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the R2I2, and that's located in Richland County. And it's called our third annual Engage Richland Opportunity Day at Richland County. So that is one of the things that we really wanted to highlight. And we'll also have some of our own departments at Richland County that will be available for matchmaking opportunities. So our attendees can go and bring their capability statements, and hopefully they can connect and network and walk away with some potential contracts.
Very good. Sounds exciting times. And do y'all have that advertised on the webpage where we can push it out and that sort of thing?
We actually just got the flyer. We're making some adjustments to it, but the invite is out there on Eventbrite.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great event, and certainly want to encourage everyone to be out there for it. So that's wonderful.
Yes.
And I did also notice, again, my fault for not getting everything organized soon enough, that we didn't have a report from y'all this month. Is there anything specific you want to highlight, or are we continuing to add DBEs and engaging them on projects?
Yeah, we're still right now maintained it at 116. I think we were at 116 last month, so we're still holding pretty much on that particular number. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Very good. Short of anything else you'd like to share with us, I'd open to questions for Ms. Wade. Any questions for OSBO? Very good. Well, I appreciate the report. It sounds like you missed your train, but I'm sure there'll be another one around the second catch, all right? Thank you, ma'am. Moving on down our agenda then, let's jump into our transportation program update. Mr. Maloney, how you doing, sir?
Doing well, thank you. So we culminated with a few action items in July before the council recess in August here. We had the award of the Clemson Sparkleberry intersection for final design, all the services we need to take that to construction and bidding. And then we had the award of construction for Screaming Eagle, Percival Road to C.R. Jackson. And then with the help of the City of Columbia and their request, we had funding, some changes in how that was arranged for phase 3 of Vista to allow the referendum account balance that should be remaining after phase 2 to go to the City of Columbia, who will manage phase 3. And they showed a project that they can complete should they not be successful with the larger grant that they're still going to apply for. So that those were awarded on the council meeting of late July, right after committee meetings. And then we had, we do have upcoming things we could talk about down below, but pre-construction updates. One thing I should mention, I guess under general information, is that Stephen Staley, former county engineer, is one of our project managers here now. So we've added our full complement of Penny project managers to our staff.
Very good. And y'all are still looking for that senior accountant position?
Wendy Garner has also been hired as the senior accountant. She was a former budget manager with the county and really knows the system. So we're excited about her starting. She just started this week, or I guess it was last week. This director was on vacation last week, so missed her first week here, but met her today. So looking forward to that. And that'll help with our reporting and ongoing goals of, you know, always being prepared for an audit and having our ducks in a row. The reason I brought up Stephen is some of our projects and project manager and assignments will change, and we're just starting to talk about that at the end of today. But we'll have more on that as it comes about. But Alpine Road Sidewalk, I don't know if that's a particular update, but we do expect to receive ATP for construction from SCDOT. OET is they are getting prepared for advertisement. Atlas Road widening. Probably about 2 weeks ago, we were real busy there on some of our final right-of-way work with the private property owner. And so given those final issues with that, we will and have submitted final construction plans to SCDOT. I believe that occurred last week. So good to keep moving on that and get it to construction and get it to actually bidding. Following those approvals from both organizations, that was taken care of. And once we have the final sign-offs by the DOT, we can go to advertisement. Bluff Road widening, phase 2. We have been looking at, we have been getting public comment on it. We did have the June public meeting, and some comments kind of came in, matriculated through emails and, you know, and even ombudsman call. So that one of the requests we got was sidewalk. It's a long corridor and it does have a tight budget. One of the things in its original descoping may have been, removal of what we are planning to do is fully replace the wearing course of asphalt for that entire 4-lane road. So it's a pretty large budget item there. Sidewalk, we will look at in the commercial areas as you get closer to the stadium. Look at infill areas there that we can put in sidewalk. But I don't see it in the budget to be able to put sidewalk way out towards some of the residential multifamily areas getting closer to I-77.
Do we think the residential areas might be the ones that would benefit more from the sidewalk, or is it, I mean, without connectivity, it's not worth a whole lot, but.
Yeah, that's, it's kind of a fairly loaded question. Yes, residential areas will benefit from having sidewalk. The areas where we do see a lot of use of the sidewalk would be Gamecock games and other ongoing festivities up at the stadium area. A lot of people do park in those commercial areas and the back streets off those. And the concern would be the number of pedestrians you have in those time and conditions, and the traffic's also high in those conditions. So it was a public comment, and we're trying to address it within reason as much as we can. As you all know, we are still fighting inflation and the cost on those items as well. So yeah, it doesn't look like from the numbers I'm seeing that we could afford to run this as a sidewalk project as well, all the way out. Blythewood Road widening. There's a lot of meetings going on and coordinating this with economic development, and the roundabout appears to be fine for what could be some large industrial and commuter traffic, and the signal at Syrup Mill Road and Blythewood Road will become necessary for upgrade in that location by development, and it looks like it's set up for that should there be a new development road going south into the industrial park. I don't believe we've got an update here for Blythewood area improvements since last month. I'm gonna go down to Bull and Elmwood. If anybody has any other questions, feel free.
We stop on Broad River for a moment.
Sure. Broad River widening.
Yes, please.
So we're 4 months into our 33-month schedule, so that means we're on a 29-month schedule now. We're working with the city there. They do want to keep their large 54-inch water main intact without having to relocate it due to the 100,000 plus customers on it, essentially the north side of the county, north side of the city. And they're going to help with the exception that we need to deliver to Department of Transportation on that. I look at it as positive 2 ways. One, the pipe is ductile iron that's in the ground, which is very strong. To move it would have some potential adverse conditions on customers delivering from potable water, and also the cost would be immense. A few million at least, and I'm guessing more. So, and it's only like replacing maybe a few hundred feet of water main in that size, in that flow. It's incredible. So we did hire on a consultant Jeff McNesby got an addition to our team to do the estimating that we need to do for if we have to relocate it. That number has to be reasonably well done for the exception to the DOT to understand the actual costs. You know, the water main's maybe 25 years old and it's a 100-year water main. So we're looking at all those aspects to it as well. But that exception will likely not go in until I think late September, early October timeframe when the estimate's complete. And we'll have a plan in place for keeping it in place and reinforcing over it so that already we know after potholing it that there is adequate cover for it, which I believe is around 48 inches below the finished surface, as well as we're going to have to put some kind of reinforced concrete over it. All that's far less in expense than relocating it. So the city is interested in seeing that plan as well to aid in the responses to DOT. Any other questions on that?
That's the big one. I know that's a big coordinated effort that can really hold the project up potentially as well. And so I just wanted to track along with that and make sure we're keeping up with what's going on there. And I know DOT hasn't been want to leave water lines under the road. I know we're relocating a bunch for Carolina Crossroads, and so I'm interested in your potential for being able to get this through with them, but trust that you are leading it in the right direction.
Bowl and Elmwood intersection we did open bids like I don't know if it was our meeting day last month or thereabouts, but the bids came in, one bid came in too high, and so we're because it was a single bidder, we're able to negotiate, and that occurs starting on tomorrow. So I reviewed the project with the consultant. They have some clarification to provide to our staff on the design, but their preliminary notes indicate some really good turnout for that intersection. There was a concern that the intersection doesn't add capacity. It actually does. But when you review the intersection, you really look at what is the wait time at the intersection, and their data indicates the average wait time for in any direction is considerably lower. So that information is being put together as well as kind of indicating the importance of the project and what it accomplishes, but also negotiating with the contractor to get that price more in line with expectations.
I appreciate you addressing the need for the project. I heard that comment at ad hoc last month, and I appreciate that clarification. That's helpful. Thank you.
Yes. Let's see. The next one that we're really moving with is Garner's Ferry Harmon. The pre-construction and utility coordination meetings, those occurred, and so that they're scheduled to begin in about a week to start construction. We have our construction services lined up and ready to go on that. I still get a lot of questions and about Lower Richland Boulevard. We had a FOIA request and kind of indicating and somebody providing from the public an old plan. And so we're able to get an update that does show that it's now five lanes wide from Garner's Ferry Road to the back of the high school. And then it tapers to 3 lanes wide and then goes to a roundabout. So that's just getting the word out. It sounds like a lot of people don't know that. So we'll want to make sure we put the word out. With a fair amount of development in the upper part of Lower Richland. I know the Pineview widening coming in as a 3-lane road and or dedicated turn lanes will be important. We're keeping that project moving with the county getting a response from SCO DOT on 30% plans. And we're at that same level with Polo Road widening on the next page, and getting our comments out. I think they just went in. Resurfacing roads, S&T. S is going real soon here. So they have a bid opening of August 18th this week. And then T has a pre-bid on August 23rd. So they'll just run a little bit more than a month behind S. And we'll have a lot of roads out there getting resurfaced. We get a fair amount of questions, sometimes all the way up to state representative level, about why a specific road isn't getting done when other roads are. And, you know, these are all data-driven decisions. And if they're borderline, we'll do as much as we can in a development, but we really have a lot of roads in the county to do. So we cannot do an entire subdivision one at a time. I think we talked about Screaming Eagle Percival. It's on its way to construction. And we did previously get approval for creating a phase 2, really, with the funds left over in CERN to get sidewalk up Rabbit Run all the way to Trotter Road. So that's under design. Looking here. Another one that's kind of on the edge of getting out, Sunset Drive Sidewalk. Final plans were submitted on June 21st, and we did receive comments. So, and those have been responded to. So I think we're very close to going to bid on that project. After Kim Tony went to the Trenton Newcastle NIP project, she did make some adjustments to extend a sidewalk to Park Lane, which had been removed in the past until get back to what was the referendum project. So that's under design. And Jeff McNesby is working on the dirt road design evaluation, which is going back to years 1 and 2 projects, and where previously it sounded like you know, the penny had moved pretty quickly on if they got a no answer. It might have been one person on a corridor of 6 or something like that. We're going back to look at those and launching, you know, 50, 60 roads and hoping to get, you know, 30. But when we do that, we'll provide a report for those that, you know, denied that they didn't want the dirt road. So, you know, everyone understands that it's not us bypassing them. It's that they don't want the road. So that has to be clear to everyone. And those that we do, you know, we're gonna likely have some larger packages coming up. So kind of going to construction. Dirt Road Package K is substantially complete. So that's a 4-road package. L is underway as well. Dirt Road Package M is underway with its, 5 roads, 4 roads. And we had a lot of folks in a particular neighborhood, when we get going on a dirt road, it's kind of going, but Bowstring Road is an example of a road where a lot of the other roads in the neighborhood were done previously, and this was the last one in that area. And so it had a lot of public drive to get Bowstring going, and that's underway. And they were doing proof rolls of the base course to look for soft spots, which they found.
Nice picture of Bowstring Road on your June progress report as well, I noticed.
Yes, sir. And then we're proceeding with advertisement for construction on Dirt Road Package and long-standing road in there. I've only been around for a couple of years, but there's certain places I've been a number of times. One is Cornell Adams, and it's an area where it has drainage issues that we can help remedy, and the project is going to get going on that soon, so that's good. There's been a call for that. I think, Chairman Epting, you had brought this up last month, about the crossover and the concerns there. I know that the city put some postings up regarding the 2 railroad crossings for Innovista Phase 2. And so those are public notices, not closings at this time. And they are, I believe it was this week, they were going to have a council meeting to take that item up and get approval for those 2 road crossing closings by the city council. I'll get in touch with their public works department on those results. And as far as the process, yes, we need to get the shade structure up, which is supposed to occur in September. Once the shade structure is up, then it just becomes a matter of working with the railroad to physically close and open simultaneously Green Street. Because everything will be in place to literally do that.
Very good. I appreciate y'all coordinating that and making sure that there's a plan in place, and we don't encourage college kids to make bad decisions, because they usually will.
Yes, sir. I've been involved in many of those kind of corrective projects. North Main Street, it was tough to hear this in like July, but when they said it'd be Labor Day week before they could get mobilized, right after that. So right after Labor Day, but that's the plan to begin the process of taking out the concrete road. And of course, that'll have to be done under traffic. And so they'll be doing, a lane closure on that as they go through. At the same time, the city, or excuse me, South Carolina DOT is having a public meeting. I think it's coming up soon. I'll have to look it up. I don't have it handy. But they're going to have a meeting on the resurfacing of Monticello Road from Main Street up past, I think, the Columbia International College, so quite a ways. So that's a resurfacing project. I think as far as movement, those are the main items in construction. Like we said, we got Bull and Elmwood to deal with as far as an opening that we need to negotiate. On upcoming solicitations, spring 22 is kind of come in there. Those are all summer 22. And Screaming at Percival can be lined out. That is not an upcoming solicitation. And shortly to be S&T as well as Dirt Package N very quickly here.
Good. One that I noticed that dropped off our list, probably I assume because you're still negotiating with DOT, was the Shop Road widening. Is that the case? Y'all are still working on that stormwater issue down there?
Yeah, Shop Road widening. Do we not see that on pre-construction? Okay.
It fell off somewhere.
Not intentional. But yeah, we'll make sure that's back on. It is under negotiation with DOT and the pre-existing drainage issue there at the creek crossing. So I believe that has been submitted to them, and we've been awaiting a decision from South Carolina DOT on that.
I guess it was our last meeting where we had that hard rain while we were meeting, and the next morning driving down Rosewood Drive, they had the, I guess, a skid steer out there clearing the mud out of the road because there's clearly some storm drain issues down through there. So I'd be interested to see where that one goes, but I want to check back in on it. So thank you for that update.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get you a more thorough update next month.
Okay. Very good. Well, you've answered all my questions and hit the high points I was looking for. Does anyone else have anything for Mr. Maloney before we move on to hear about the comment? Ms. Eva, I see you logged on there. I appreciate you joining us.
Yes, good evening, and no questions for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Mr. Maloney, thank you very much. Over to the comment. Ladies, how y'all doing this evening?
Yeah, good. Good afternoon, everyone. So we'll start on page 8 with the comments report. We're going to start out with the Lucius Road Superstop project. And if you look on page 9, that's the updated area view. It's looking better. It's looking better each day, actually. And on page 10, the project summary. As of now, the project is 60% physically completed and 48% financially completed. And also, the project is moving along very well, even though we had some delays, due to some different items. Last month, we talked about the dirt issue, the bad dirt, the good dirt. And so we finally got rid of the bad dirt. We got some good dirt. So now we're able to move on finishing the concrete part. And the anticipated completion date for the project now is October of this year. On page 11, on the project budget. So the budget amount was a little over 1.7 million. Total monthly invoices accrued to date was a little over 558,000. And the total amount of the change order that were approved was $217,812. Page 12, the Davidson Floyd report for the benches and shelters. Actually, if you go to page 13, it's like a breakdown of the summary. And for the completed sites, there were none completed as far as shelters, benches. The approved sites is the same one as last month, the same 2, which was Broad River and Shivers and Bull Street and Richland. And as far as the bench, there was 1 bench that we're still waiting on at Hartscrabble and Bush. So sites currently under permit review, we have 2 shelters and 1 bench, the same ones that we reported last month. And just so you know, we're not just holding, City of Columbia's kind of backed up, as they told you, backed up and short staffed, so it's taking us longer to get our permits and stuff to proceed. Yes.
How about Forest and Trentham? Have y'all seen any movement there?
Before us in Trentham, that one is still on the list for the site and design. So no, not yet.
We'll keep pushing.
Yes, yes. So actually, that's part of the 3 shelters that's in design, in addition to the 11 benches that's still in design, which is on page 14. Page 15, ridership. So the ridership for July was 118,533, compared to the same month last year was 117,893. So not a big change in the ridership. And page 16, ridership compared to last month. Last month was 121,579, which is like a 2.5% decrease. So that could go, I mean, anything could have caused that. Weather, the rain, the school being out. So yeah. Page 17 shows the average daily ridership. The left side of the page is the monthly ridership numbers. And then on the right, you'll see your average daily ridership numbers for each month. And if you have any questions, just please feel free to ask.
Yeah, there's some interesting trends in there where it seems that the ridership has been pretty steadily improving all year in a year-over-year basis. And that's really interesting. And I'd anticipate we'd see a really big jump in August and September with students coming to town too.
Yeah,
So.
with the school. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're seeing that now, actually. Seeing that now.
Interesting. Okay.
And so page 18 is the financial statement as of June the 30th. And Ms. Andrews is here if you have any questions about the finances. And then on page 19, we have our DBE tracking, whereas, the Comets goal is 25% DBE participation. And what's been achieved so far is 24.1% as of June 30th.
Very good.
So if that completes my report, unless you all have some questions for us.
I've always got a couple. The Reimagine the Comment process, is that complete? Have y'all, I was trying to think if we ever had those public meetings that we thought we were going to have.
We're still waiting on, we're still doing the Reimagine for comment, waiting on more public input.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so there's a threshold of sufficient public input that you're waiting for before you take it to the board for, okay.
Right.
And would holding any of those public meetings maybe encourage more people to provide that input, you think? I know at some point we had talked about having at least 2 public meetings. I don't know that I've seen any yet.
Yes, actually, it depends on the percentage of change that dictates how many public hearings you have. So, and that does tend to encourage people to engage and let us know what they're wanting. So when we have the public hearings, yeah, we get a lot of feedback.
Okay.
We get a lot of feedback. So,
I got you. So I guess I'm just a little bit confused about the schedule and the rollout for Reimagine the Comment. And, I thought that we'd be closer to implementation, but it sounds like we're still in the public comment period. And we agree that, having a public meeting would encourage more public comments. And it sounds like y'all need a certain number of public comments. Is it time to kind of push for those meetings to happen, or are the conversations going on about that?
They're kind of drifting in, not as much as we want to come in. So we just kind of give them more time. Yeah, to give more time to,
We've learned that the public reacts when that change is made. So we want to try and get their input before we go making changes. And one of the other reasons we kind of had to scale back and do over because we added the new Lucius Road project. So that was not in the vision of Reimagine the Comet. And once it came into play, we had to make sure that it was aligned in there as well. So that kind of put us not so much at a pause, but having to refigure where we're going with that and making sure everybody's taken care of.
Okay. So we're reimagining the reimagining a little bit. I gotcha.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. And then I'm always curious about the electric and hydrogen buses and if any progress has been made in procuring and facilitating the use of those renewables in our system.
yes, right now we're still dealing with the location of the refueling systems on the property because we selected 3 locations on our property. And we still have to get with like Dominion Energy and places that, and companies like that to make sure we can put it at these locations. So that's what the contractors are looking at now.
Doing
to
that
make sure.
coordination.
Right. Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay.
We'll be getting 2 electric buses and 2 hydrogen buses.
That's exciting stuff.
Yes.
And they initially wanted to put the refueling station like in the middle of our bus parking lot. And we was like, no, we can't do that because we need the parking spaces.
Right.
So that's why we had to identify other locations.
Okay. And I hope that y'all have big loud wraps on it so everyone knows that when it drives around, that's being powered by electricity or by hydrogen.
Right.
And, I know that y'all know how to wrap a bus, so I'm not worried about it being loud.
Yes, we know how to do that very well.
Very good. If I bring my Forerunner by, do y'all have a spot in the yard
Oh,
where y'all
yeah.
do that? Or okay, yeah,
We'll
you
put
just
the
wrap it up.
flames and everything on it.
That'd be great.
Yes.
And if you want to keep up with our Reimagine, you can go on our website. There's and sign up for the updates there. So,
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Very good. Awesome, y'all. With that, haven't seen, I think y'all have completed your report. Any questions, comments, or concerns from anyone else? Very good. Hearing none. Thank y'all very much for the report. Turning quickly to our other business, our next meeting is scheduled for September 19th. We had tried to do this one virtually to facilitate, folks getting kids back to school and all the excitement that comes with this time of year, but we will try to get back in person next month. As far as membership goes, I was cruising the Rules and Appointments Committee earlier. It sounds like they have got I guess an appointment or a big appointment drive coming up in early September, September 13th, I think. And so hopefully we'll get some appointees then. I saw that we have at least one person who submitted an application. So we'll be hoping that we're able to get a little bit more or a little bit more support from Richland County. And then we also need to follow up with the city to look for some folks as well. But with that, y'all, we've run through this agenda. I think we've done what we need to do here today. Does anyone have any other questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise that we want to discuss as a group before we take off for the month?
from the comment.
Awesome, y'all. Well, with that, I appreciate everyone's time very much. Hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to y'all next month. Thank you.